Hello, everyone. I hope you all have enjoyed your meals and your conversations with the people that have brought us here today. The room is filled with many wonderful donors, and at this time, I would like to further introduce myself and share my donor scholarship experience with everyone. And now that I'm finally at the time where I'm saying only 1 month left, 24 days, I also find myself reflecting on not only my memorable experiences here at Pitt-Bradford, but also the opportunities and resources the school and the community have provided for me. Looking back to before I had finished high school, no one ever prepared me or my mom for how much of a pain FAFSA was to fill out every single year. And back in 2020, when all was going according to plans, our lives, along with our economy, changed. Pitt-Bradford offers students numerous opportunities for financial support. They want their students to succeed and want to make sure they can give as many students that opportunity as possible. Also, I would like to say thank you to all of the staff down at the Hangar Building that have been such a huge help over the phone going over tuition costs and scholarships these past 4 years. This year, I was lucky to receive the Cavalline Evans Scholarship established by Dr. and Mrs. George P. Evans. Their generous donation helped relieve stress for my mother and I trying to figure out one loan from another. The day I received the email from Joelle saying that I received a donor scholarship for this semester, I immediately picked up the phone to call my mom to tell her that I got a scholarship. She and I both were so happy to receive the news, and we felt a little weight lifted off our shoulders with sighs of relief. It's thanks to Pitt-Bradford and all of our generous donors that make moments like this happen. So I'm here to say again to all of our donors and students, thank you for coming out here today. Traditions like this here at Pitt-Bradford are so important to keep continuing on here. And now I'd like to introduce our student speaker. This year's student speaker is Fareed Nagafin. Fareed is a senior criminal justice major from Falls Church, Virginia. He is also a dual student athlete as a member of both the wrestling and soccer teams here at Pitt-Bradford. Being a dual athlete has taught Fareed the importance of balancing everything in his personal life and athletic career. Fareed is looking to pursue a career in law enforcement because he wants to help others. He is the recipient of the Robert Wicks Scholarship. Please welcome Fareed Nagafin.
Hello, everyone. First off, I would like to thank the donors and Ms. Joelle for giving me the opportunity to speak today. My name is Fareed Nagafin, and I am a criminal justice major with a minor in cybersecurity. Today, I have the honor to share my story with you all and how I was given the opportunity to be a student athlete here at Pitt-Bradford. Growing up as a single mother of 3 was a challenging journey that shaped my independence early on. With the unwavering support of my family, I made the necessary decision that led me to successfully complete high school. The moment I graduated and received acceptance letters from my dream universities was truly a moment of joy, especially when celebrating with my family, holding that precious acceptance letter in my hand. However, the excitement was quickly replaced by concern as the reality of the cost set in, threatening to shatter my dreams. After a conversation with the head wrestling coach here at Pitt-Bradford, I was presented with a remarkable financial aid package that alleviated the financial burden on my family and I. Pitt-Bradford allowed me to pursue my aspirations without the weight of financial constraints. Not gonna lie, being a student athlete was tough, and I faced a lot of challenges that shaped who I am today. When I joined a wrestling team, I wasn't the best and I lost a lot more matches than I won. I felt down, both physically and mentally, and wondered why I should keep going. Despite feeling this way, I kept pushing myself because I knew that persevering through tough times in wrestling was preparing me for the physical and mental challenges of a future career in law enforcement. Now that my wrestling days are behind me, I'm preparing to attend the Police Academy in Fairfax, Virginia, with the goal of standing out among my fellow recruits. I believe that my time as a wrestler has given me the mindset and determination needed to succeed in this new chapter of my life. The lessons I learned on a wrestling mat have taught me to face challenges head-on with confidence and strength. And I am grateful for the growth and resilience that wrestling has instilled in me. In closing, I want to express that these past 4 years have been some of the most rewarding. It's not just about the friendships and the memories I've cherished, but also about overcoming significant challenges during my college journey without ever giving up. Thank you for allowing me to share my story and for your support.
Thank you, Fareed, for your remarks. Next, I am pleased to introduce this year's donor speaker, Peter Pantuso, 73 to 75. Since 1996, Pete has served as President and Chief Executive Officer of the three organizations: the American Bus Association, the National Bus Traffic Association, and the ABA Foundation. He is responsible for day-to-day operations, including government affairs, communications, meetings, and finances. Under his leadership, ABA has grown to become North America's largest motor coach, tour, and travel association, with 3,200 members representing 65% of all motor coaches on the road. Additionally, he oversaw the growth of the ABA Foundation to become an $8 million organization, providing needed industry research and scholarship funds. Before joining ABA, Pete was Vice President of Government Affairs for the Rubber Manufacturers Association, Vice President of Government Affairs for the National Confectioners Association, and the Director of Government Affairs for the Glass Packaging Institute. A Bradford native, Pantuso attended Pitt-Bradford for 2 years before four-year degrees were offered and finished earning his Bachelor of Arts degree in Economics and Political Science at the University of Pittsburgh. He earned a Master's of Association Management degree from George Washington University's School of Business and Government. He served and serves on multiple nonprofit boards, including the American Highway Users Association, the Roadway Safety Foundation, the Motor Coach Marketing Council, and the Boy Scouts of America National Capital Area Council. He is also an appointee to the U.S. Department of Transportation Motor Carriers Safety Advisory Council and was appointed to the department's National Advisory Committee of Travel and Tourism Infrastructure. In 2007, he established the Armida and Vincent Pantuso Scholarship at Pitt-Bradford, which has helped 38 students since its inception. In addition, Peter is a former member of Pitt-Bradford's advisory board and a current member of Pitt-Bradford Founders Society. In 2018, the Pitt-Bradford Alumni Association honored Peter with its award of honor and distinction. Please welcome Peter Pantuso.
You know, when you sit there and hear it, it sounds more like my eulogy than an introduction, but thank you very much for doing that. Good afternoon, everybody. Let me be the first to welcome you to my playground, my childhood playground. This is where I grew up. This was my campus before there was really a campus. And I think I'm probably one of the earliest hires in the room at the University of Pittsburgh. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But I grew up over there. I rode my bike through the Brindley property to come down to the airfield down here. I fished right down there in the creek. Not a creek, a creek. My uncle was a pilot. He flew for Glendorn. And so he would come down here once in a while and give me rides in the Piper Cubs that were over here in the hangar. Obviously, the hangar is still here. The planes aren't any longer. And then sometimes I'd ride my bike and I'd help a guy by the name of Joe Fields, who maintained the hangar, move planes around, push them around. As a little kid, it was a great, great experience and opportunity. I'd go to the carnival down here when it would come every summer and take rides on the carnival. And then my family would eat the Roman Villa, which was over here by the entrance that many of you are familiar with. So this was my playground growing up, and then Pitt came. So when I was a sophomore in high school in 1971, I was looking for something to do. I was looking for a job, a real job, because at that point I'd been a caddy up at Penn Hills for a number of years. And I had a friend from high school. His father was a professor here. And my friend said, you know, Pitt's looking for painters, somebody who will come and paint the dorms. And the dorms at that time were at the head of Main Street at what's now Emory Towers. Said, if you're looking for work, you and I can paint the dorms. And we did. We painted dorms all summer long. We'd go into the dorm with a 5-gallon bucket of beige paint. We'd move out the bunk beds and the desks. We'd paint 4 walls and a ceiling. We'd paint the public bathrooms that were on the floor. We'd move the beds and the desks back in. And then we'd take our 5-gallon and move to the next room. We painted all summer from 8 to 5. I will never paint anything in my house beige ever again, ever again. So when it came time to go to college, like a lot of parents, mine took me on a bit of a college tour. We went down to Penn State and checked it out. We went to Clarion, took a look at Clarion. Went to Lycoming, which I thought was an absolutely great school. I wanted to go to Lycoming so bad. And I never thought about Pitt-Bradford. There wasn't really a campus here. There wasn't anything here. There were no academic buildings at the time. And so when it was time to make a decision where to go, I was told pretty quickly where to go. You're going to Pitt-Bradford. There was no discussion. There wasn't any negotiation. There wasn't any of that. My parents said, listen, you're going to go here. Tuition $600. I think we can afford it. You go here for 2 years. You can live at home. You can save money. And that's where I went. Again, no debate. But it was a great experience. Summer of '73 is when I graduated from high school. And I came down and I got my second real job. I worked for Charlie Close in the maintenance department here. And I learned so much from Charlie Close. I mean, he knew everything about the campus as it was starting to build out. And I learned to drive a stick shift in the truck. I learned to do light maintenance. I learned to do plumbing work. I learned to do electrical work. I learned life skills that are still with me today. And I wouldn't have had that opportunity without Charlie and without University of Pittsburgh. During college, by the grace of God, I worked for two of the finest men, I think, in state politics that existed at the time, Vic Westerberg and Dick Frame. Same two people the building's named after. They were great supporters of the whole region and of the University of Pittsburgh at Bradford. Because of the foundation that I got from this university, I was able to have an incredibly successful career. I was a lobbyist first in Pennsylvania after I left the House, or after I left the Senate. I worked in the Senate after I graduated from college again. Senator Frame by that time had passed away, unfortunately, so I worked for another senator. But then I worked for a Fortune 500 company here in Pennsylvania. I went to Washington in 1980 with their trade association and had a chance to be a lobbyist for multiple trade associations, and then for the last 28 years run the current organization I'm with, the American Bus Association, and two other organizations within it and their foundation. I've served on a lot of nonprofit boards, as was mentioned. I've been appointed to government advisory boards. I've met so many members of Congress and the Senate and secretaries of different departments and presidents, and I've gotten to do things that people only dream of or can't imagine doing many times. You know, I grew up in a family, though, that always believed in giving back. It wasn't necessarily about giving back money, but it was giving to others who needed help, who needed something, maybe needed an extra little helping hand. Might have been just time, or it might have been advice, or sometimes it was money. But giving back was instilled in me in a very, very young age growing up. It was a no-brainer when my best friend Craig Hartberg came to me and said, you know, you gotta start a scholarship down at Pitt-Bradford. There's an opportunity to do that. There's some matching money. You know, maybe you can help kids that were struggling like you were, trying to pay for college. Even at $600 a semester back then, it was a bit of a struggle. So I started the Armida and Vincent Pantuso Scholarship here at the university in honor of my parents, one being a veteran and one being a nurse. And going back to the tie-in to Pitt-Bradford, my mother got her nursing degree in Bradford. She got it in the, I can't remember the name of the building, but it was right across from the Bradford Hospital. And the first year that I started taking classes, I took classes in that building. So again, that connection back to Pitt-Bradford before there even was a Pitt-Bradford. When I spoke here in 2018, I talked about people who came before us and the opportunities we all have because of people who touched our lives or did something before we ever got here, maybe before we ever got on Earth, and the path that they created for us. And sometimes it was parents, it might have been coworkers, it might have been a boss, it might have been other leaders that created these opportunities that give us the opportunity to be where we are today. Sometimes it's just great genes, parents, family, friends, who instill in us this work ethic to get it done at the end of the day. But when I look back at what I talked about in 2018, I was only half right. I left out a key part of those remarks. Not only about looking back, but it's about looking forward. It's about thinking about those who come after us and the difference that we can make in their lives, the path that we can create for them, the resources, the opportunities that we can create for those people who are coming after us so that they can be successful, so that they can get the education they need, so that they can have the opportunities they need. You know, I'm blessed, like many of you in this room, to be able to continue to give back. That's why we're all here. That's why so many of us are here. To be able to give back and to be able to pay forward. Not because we have to, but because it's all something we want to. Because something that's instilled upon us that we want to help, we want to create that path. I know that I'm going to continue to support the university going forward. I'm going to continue to fund the Armida and Vincent Pantuso Scholarship. And I'm going to do it long after I'm gone, as I hope, you know, a lot of people in this room would. And that you've already considered, or you will consider, that legacy and how you keep that faith going, how you keep those opportunities going for other people. Finding ways to help those people who come after us is absolutely so critical. Not only thinking about what they're going to be doing, but about the difference that we can make in the thousands who are going to be coming after us. And people like I was, who needed that help, who needed that boost, who needed that helping hand. Creating those opportunities at Pitt-Bradford to continue to give in the future and find opportunities. That's why we're here. That's why we're going to continue to do it. Thank you very much for having me.
Thanks, Peter, for sharing with us why you chose to establish your donor scholarship here at Pitt-Bradford. Your generosity, along with the generosity of all the donors in this room and those watching the live stream, have made an impact not only on my education, but the education of so many other students here at Pitt-Bradford. At this time, we would like to recognize all scholarship donors by having them stand. Thank you for believing in the power of donor scholarships. Your thoughtfulness is preparing us to become inspired leaders, critical thinkers, and problem solvers who will make an impact in this world in amazing ways. As I end my remarks, I would like to acknowledge those who have made this luncheon possible. Christine, Tyler, and Joelle, and the entire philanthropic and alumni engagement staff, along with Mets and conference services. Thank you for all your hard work to put this all together. I would also like to thank our Blue and Gold Society students for volunteering as well today. Before you leave, please check the back of your program booklet for a Pitt-Bradford sticker. If you have a Pitt-Bradford sticker, you are the winner of the spring floral centerpiece at the center of your table. Thank you guys for attending the luncheon, and I hope you all have a wonderful day and weekend.